Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a great week. Today is November 18, 2022, and this is your Friday planning video. As has been the case over the past few months, I want to bring you Tales from the Front Lines, a new name for some things that I want to share with you that come from client conversations. My clients and maybe other people's clients through research and readings that I do, most of the time just conversations with you. Let's start with philanthropic giving. Now, as Tales from the Front Lines would have you here, most of you who have a plan for their philanthropy, you know who you want to give it to, when you're going to make those gifts, and even how much your giving plan allows for. Let me talk to you about a few resources that I can direct you to assist in some of your charitable planning. As we come to the end of the year, and a year like this, I want to recommend that, as you have heard me discuss many times, let's talk about donor-advised funds. These allow for you to make gifts at a tax-deductible level. It's a good time for the statement. I do not give personal tax advice, but I look forward to working with your tax planner on this and any other tax strategy to help you strive to reach your goals. Back to the story. As we come to an end of the year like this that we've had, this is not as easy to see, but tax-deductible giving using appreciated stock can still be a good way to fund a donor-advised fund. Rebalance your portfolio and do all of this with what should be the best tax plan that your tax advisor can work with you on. Regardless, let's talk about some resources to help answer some questions that come along with donor-advised funds. For some of you, specifically those that don't have all the answers to the who, when, and how much. 3 main topics, and if you're interested, again, please email me and I'll share the links with you to some articles about this. First, how to give with impact. You can imagine there are different ways that you can answer this, but there are great articles I'd be happy to share with you. Next, how do you evaluate charities? This is a big one, especially for those of you who want to come to the aid of some of those affected by natural disasters or even some of the horrifying mass shootings. We know there are a lot of lookalike charities, so there are ways to check them out. The last resource for today, and this one is one of my favorites, and one so many of you have already been working with me on, how to engage family in charitable giving. One of my favorite stories was one of my amazing clients and his family. He has a donor-advised fund that we funded in the past with appreciated stock. In addition to his philanthropic desires, which are honored by this fund, he is teaching his family, his children and his grandchildren, the importance of giving. How does he do this? Not only by example, but by bringing them in on the action. Come Thanksgiving and Christmas time, and his children and grandchildren bring charitable grant recommendations to the table, along with the explanation of why it is a good recipient. I love this, and he should have a long life and an amazing legacy of giving into next generations. That'll wrap up the Donor Advised Fund info this week. Email me or call me for the links of the articles and the resources. Let's hit a few more year-end ideas. So much is being said about Mother Earth and climate change, and no, I'm not going to dig into that one. But I will suggest that if you have not signed up for AccountView 2.0 or other online access, please consider doing so. This is not, I repeat, not, as someone told me this week, so that you can watch every tick of your portfolio. Instead, it will give you instant access to statements and updates, as well as the tax reports when it comes time for you to send them to your accountants. Paperless delivery of statements and almost all mailings can also be requested. I want to add a few more items as we come to the end of the week and closer to the end of the year. As most of you know, if you've asked me, I don't have much of an opinion to share about crypto and all that comes with it. This past week or so, we've seen a major house of cards fall in the collapse of FTX. I don't want to hazard a guess on how this is going to turn out, but I do want to point out, as we've seen over and over again, even in just the past 20 or 25 years, 2000, 2008, and now 2022, it is so important to have a plan, stick to your plan, and revisit and adjust your plan accordingly. Things like FTX, like the credit crisis and the dot-com bubble before it, and so many more over the years. These things are going to come and go, but we don't have the luxury of being able to blame things like this on the outcome of your plans. We must, and I talk to you about this often, have a plan, stay clear on that plan, adjust it when we need to, and always be ready. Attributed to many writers, I love the quote, "I cannot change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to reach my destination." Okay, just to wrap up this week and put it in the books. To revisit the ever-changing student loan debt relief program, this is changing so much that by the time I shot the last video last week, the news had already changed. When the Texas court struck down the program, the Biden administration, the Department of Education, finally stopped taking applications. If you already got yours in, time to go into a holding pattern. Also, wait to hear about the next extension of interest payments. Again, they're probably going to have to do that. Keep in touch about this, and as I mentioned to you before, my recommendation is to go to the source. Sign up for the Department of Education email. It will keep you informed. As you go into the weekend, next Friday will be the day after Thanksgiving. I'm not sure we're going to get a video done that day, so please forgive me if there's not one. Let me take this opportunity to tell you all that I'm thankful for all of you, my friends and my clients. As you no doubt can tell, I love what I do, and helping you all in the planning and hopefully successful achievement of your goals is such a rewarding experience. Thank you for allowing me to help you on your journey. Have a great weekend and look for Monday's market update for a wrap up of this week and a preview of next week. Have a great weekend.